Have you ever walked away from a moment thinking, I should have said something? Maybe it was with a friend, at work, in your family. But instead, you swallowed the words, smiled, and carried on. That silence, it doesn't just disappear. It lingers. It echoes. And tonight, we're going to talk about that echo, the invisible weight of all the words we never speak. Silence can feel safe in the moment, but over time, those unsaid words become heavy. They shape how we see ourselves, how we move through the world. Psychologists even call it the burden of unexpressed emotion, and most of us carry more of it than we realize. So let me ask you this. What's one thing you wish you had said, but never did? Think about it. Maybe even drop it in the comments, because this is where healing starts.
Baby, listen, I can always tell when someone's biting their tongue. They sit there like, it's fine, I'm fine, but you can feel that silence crawling across the room. And sometimes that silence causes more mess than just saying the thing would've. Like, why do we torture ourselves like this?
Because we're scared. Scared of rejection, scared of judgment, scared of what happens if we actually tell the truth. Let me share a real story. A woman had a best friend. They were inseparable. But then came betrayal, trust broken. She never spoke up, never said, "You hurt me." She stayed silent, and 10 years later, they're still friends, but with distance, with walls. She told me, "I don't know if I even know her anymore." That's what silence does. It eats away at closeness. Another story. A man working long hours, burning out. He never told his boss, never said, "I'm drowning." He thought silence meant strength, but silence landed him in the hospital with stress-induced illness. His body spoke when his mouth wouldn't. And that's the truth. Unspoken words don't vanish. They live in our bodies. Tension, anxiety, sleepless nights. Science backs this up. Suppressed emotions trigger the same stress pathways as physical pain. So what does silence cost us? It costs us closeness. It costs us health. It costs us pieces of ourselves. But here's the hope. Once you can name the burden, you can start to put it down. This is only the beginning. Because next, we'll explore why we choose silence and how to break that cycle.
Stick around, baby, because if you think silence is golden, we're about to flip that myth upside down.
Silence feels safe, but what does it really cost us? Tonight, we're pulling back the curtain on the hidden price of unspoken words, the toll they take on our bodies, our relationships, and our futures. When you don't speak, resentment builds, regret sets in, and slowly your self-worth erodes. You start believing your words don't matter. Psychologists call it self-silencing. It's tied to anxiety, depression, even physical pain. Silence, over time, becomes a prison of your own making. Take a woman I spoke with. She stayed silent in her marriage for years. Every time she felt neglected, every time she was hurt, she swallowed it. Until one day, she realized she didn't even recognize herself anymore. Her silence didn't save her marriage. It destroyed her voice. But silence doesn't just live in the mind, it lives in the body. Studies show repressed emotions spike stress hormones, disrupt sleep, and even weaken the immune system. That racing heart at 2 a.m.? Sometimes it's not caffeine, it's the words you never said.
And let me tell you, baby, I've lost more sleep from unsent texts than from tequila. Silence ages you, wrinkles, stress, bags under the eyes. Speak your truth and save your skin.
See? Even Milo's telling you, silence is expensive. So here's what we've learned. Silence isn't neutral. It costs us connection, It costs us health. It costs us time we can't get back. But awareness is power, because once you see the price, you can decide if silence is still worth paying. So we know silence is heavy. We know it costs us. But here's the good news. Silence doesn't have to be your story forever. We can break the cycle. And it starts with one step: awareness. Most of us stay silent because we're afraid. Afraid of conflict. Afraid of rejection. Afraid that if we speak our truth, we'll lose people. But let me tell you something. Every time you stay silent, you're already losing something: yourself. The first way to break silence is small. Write it down. Journaling is powerful because it gives your words a place to land, even when your voice shakes. Write the letter, even if you never send it. Speak the words, even if no one else hears them yet. Sometimes the first audience for your truth is you.
Baby, I practice my clapbacks in the mirror every morning. Don't get it twisted. And you know what? It works. Because by the time I get to the real moment, I'm ready. Say it to yourself first. Say it till you believe it. Then say it to the world.
See? That's practice. And practice builds courage. Breaking the cycle of silence doesn't mean you suddenly shout every thought you've ever had. It means you stop carrying the weight alone. You start honoring your truth, one small step at a time. Because courage isn't about not being afraid. It's about speaking anyway. So far, we've talked about the burden of silence and the cost of holding it all in. Now let's shift into something more practical: how to speak your truth. Because expression isn't just about the words, it's about how you use them. One of the best tools you can use is the I statement. Instead of you always or you never, try I feel hurt when this happens. It shifts the energy from attack to honesty. Second, active listening. Don't just wait to respond. Actually hear the other person. Repeat back what you heard. It shows you value their words as much as your own. And boundaries? Boundaries aren't walls. They're doors. They let in what builds you and protect you from what breaks you.
Look, I statements are cute, but if you really want to practice, stand in front of the mirror and say, I deserve peace, I deserve respect, I deserve love. And if they can't give it, baby, let the door hit them on the way out.
Milo, you always keep it real. But see, that's the art of expression. It's truth with compassion. Sometimes compassion for others, sometimes compassion for yourself. The art of expression isn't about being the loudest in the room. It's about being the most authentic. When you use your voice with clarity, honesty, and care, you don't just break silence, you build bridges. So remember, your words matter. Speak them with love, speak them with courage. And most importantly, speak them with truth. When silence is broken, something shifts. The weight lifts, the body breathes easier, and the echo fades. This is liberation. This is the freedom of using your voice. I knew a woman who carried decades of unspoken pain with her best friend. One day, she finally said the words, "You hurt me. I need you to know." It didn't destroy the friendship. It saved it. Because truth creates space for healing. Another man once nearly lost his health to silence at work. But after he spoke up about his limits, his boss not only understood, he respected him more. Speaking up didn't cost him his job, it gave him back his life.
Listen, baby, life is too short to be quiet about the things that matter. Whether it's love, respect, or just the truth, you deserve to be heard. And if somebody can't handle your voice, that's their problem, not yours.
Exactly. Your voice is your power. Nobody else can use it for you. So here's my challenge for you. Think of one thing you've been holding in, one unsaid word, one truth. And this week, find a way to release it. Maybe you write it. Maybe you speak it. Maybe you share it right here in the comments. Because silence can be heavy, but your voice can set you free.